Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 16th, 2024 Town Council meeting. Couple of housekeeping items, just if there is an emergency, there are exits at the back of the room and to the side here. Please do not use the elevator, we use the stairs. And with that, Councilman McGeckern, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Certainly will, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll do a roll call. Councilor Chiricello?
Good evening.
Councilor Webb?
Present.
Councilor Flood? Good evening. Councilor Granessi?
Good evening.
Councilor McGeckern?
Good evening.
Councilor Foote is hoping to join us. He had a last-minute personal matter he had to deal with, so he will hopefully join us in a bit. And good evening from the chair. All right, is there a motion to open public forum?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to open public forum and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? All right, public forum is open. The floor is yours. If anyone would like to come up and speak.
Madam Chair, seeing no one jumping to the forefront, turning to my friend Owen.
Anyone
Anybody?
online?
Seeing none, rise online, Madam Chair.
None rise online, then I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion to close public forum, seconded by Councilor Granessi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, public forum is closed. Consent agenda. We have a few items on here. We have 2431 to approve the minutes from the April 2nd, 2024 meeting. 2432 to approve the minutes from the April 4th, 2024 budget workshop. 2433 to approve the minutes from the April 6th, 2024 budget workshop. And then we have two public hearings. 2434 is a resolution 2024-019 to adopt revised user rate and fee schedules for Derry water customers. And 2435, resolution 2024-020 to adopt revised user rate and fee schedules for Derry wastewater customers. And both of those resolutions will have a public hearing on May 7th.
So moved.
Okay, motion to accept the
Second.
consent agenda and seconded. On the motion, Councilor Chiricello?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
I can approve the 24-31, but I have to abstain from the budget workshop. I wasn't here.
Okay, why don't we take the 2431 and the public hearing resolutions? Are you okay with revising
fine,
the
yep.
motion for that? We'll
Motion
vote on that
rise
one.
as mentioned.
Any changes to your votes, Councilor Chiricello and Councilor Webb?
Nope.
Okay, Councilor Flood?
We're doing just the
Just
minutes therefore, and the other thing page.
Yes.
Okay. Councilor Granessi?
Yes.
Councilor McGeckern?
Yes.
And chair votes yes.
Madam Chair, I'll make a second motion to approve the minutes of May 7th and May 21st, the budget hearing meetings.
Second.
Okay, just to clarify dates, that's April 4th and April 6th.
Upcoming meetings. I
I was
apologize.
like, those haven't
I'm
happened
on the
yet.
wrong page. Yes, Madam Chair.
But thank you.
Items 2432 and 2433, April 4th and April 6th. Thank you.
Then I'll second that.
All right, motion to approve the 4th and the 6th, seconded by Councilor
The
Granessi.
adjournment page.
On the motion, Councilor Chiricello? Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Flood? Councilor Granessi?
Yes.
Councilor McGeckern?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion passes 501. All right, up to the chair's report. I did just want to give a quick, we do have some presenters this evening, but I want to just give a quick update that we held our rabies clinic on the 6th. It was our third annual. We saw 60 patients, which is triple the number we saw last year. So we moved the clinic to the afternoon and found that was a good fit, so we're probably going to stick to that next year. And I just wanted to thank Dr. Kim Trahan, who is a Derry resident and comes and helps us each year as our veterinarian of record for the day. She vaccinated all those animals, and she orders the supplies. Thank you to our animal control officer for jumping in to do whatever was needed through the day, and to Councilors Granessi and Foote for jumping in to clean up a couple of accidents that happened while they were there. And the biggest thank you is to our town clerk, Tina Guilford, that we would not have had that success without all the work she did to put things together. So thank you, everybody, for that. And then the important piece for the evening, I'd like to invite Ernie St. Pierre and Tony Bruno up to present on veterans tax credits.
Good evening, Madam Chair, councilors, town administrator, town clerk. I came before you tonight. Oh, Ernie St. Pierre, sorry. Thanks, Tony. Derry, New Hampshire. This is my good friend, Mr. Tony Bruno. He'll introduce himself in a little bit. He's got a couple things to say. I come before you tonight with my fellow veteran and friend, Mr. Tony Bruno, and we are also representing all the other veterans in the town that are eligible to receive veteran tax credits under the following RSAs. We come before this body with a request for an increase in the tax credits the town of Derry provides to the veterans who took an oath in a branch of the military to serve and protect our American freedom. We come before you to address RSA 7235 and RSA 7228. To me, RSA 7235 is the most important one. That one addresses tax credits for service-connected total disability veterans. We did provide spreadsheets that we put together that show these numbers and everything like that. I hope you got them. If you didn't, we got some more copies in the back and we can get you some more copies. At this time, the town allows for a tax credit of $2,000 for a veteran who qualifies for a totally disabled, of which the full amount allowable is $4,000. Based on the information we have obtained, the MS1 documents sent to the New Hampshire Department of Revenue for the year 2023 shows 71 veterans received this tax credit in the town of Derry. This number representing those veterans who claim this credit is subject to change year to year due to veterans that have passed away, moved from their homes to assisted living or nursing home situations. The one thing that will not change is the oath that each one of them took upon entering into the military. For those of you who never took the oath, veterans basically sign a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including their life. Unfortunately, these 71 disabled veterans gave more than most and now live with permanent conditions, physical as well as mentally, as a result of their service to our country to protect your freedom that is enjoyed by all of us. Council members, we have before you several options as to the timelines to get these veterans to the tax credits they so deserve. Neither of us are budget people. Tony or I are not budget people by no means on number crunches. However, we have gathered this information, which is all public knowledge, and have been provided with answers to our questions from various town employees to help us with what we felt was required information to complete this presentation. And we deeply thank everybody that helped us out and gave us some information. We have broken down the cost for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-year goals. And the numbers, as you can see up there, I hope you got the sheets in front of you.
We do.
It's pretty self-explanatory, and I mean, Mr. McEachran, you probably can check the numbers for me, but I think I think our numbers came out the way they should have, and I think we use the information accordingly. So
We tried.
we did the best we could with
Good job, guys.
the dumb Italian and the dumb Frenchman, so we did all right. We understand that there's a tax cap, and we understand the burden that you folks operate under, but we also understand it's been since 2006 that anything's been done for the disabled veterans. They did get a little bit more because they also get some funds from another program that the town offers for the other section, the other RSA. But it's still, I think it's something that needs to be truly addressed and worked on. We have been strong supporters of our town employees over the years, and we understand the tight constraints the town operates under when it comes to funding. We simply ask that this request be looked at as a higher priority than years past. It has been since 2006, 18 years, that the $2,000 credit to our disabled veterans has been at this level. We have to do something to help those who defended our freedom, and we feel now is the time. Next, we would like to address RSA 72.28. This one costs the town a little bit more money because there's more of us. There's 731 veterans in this town that also served and fortunately made it through without suffering injury. These people also took the oath and signed the same blank check, which Uncle Sam did not cash in on. These veterans now receive $550 for a tax credit, of which allowable amount is $750. Just like our presentation for the disabled veterans, we projected our costs based on the information we have gathered and asked that you make this a priority also. Didn't ask for a high priority, we asked for a priority to also help those that have served to protect your freedom. Again, on the spreadsheet that you have before you and you reviewed are the numbers and the cost of what it would be. Tony, do you have any remarks?
Is it on? Yeah, okay. First of all, good evening, Madam Chair, councilors. My name is Tony Bruno. I live at 19 Oak Street, Derry, Derry. Born and raised in Derry. I can go back to 5,000 people. Now we have 35,000. I understand what's going on in town of Derry. I wish there was only 5,000 people again, but you can't stop growth. I understand a little bit about budgets. I worked for the town of Derry for 31 years in the cemetery department. I retired 16 years ago. Got a rough idea with a budget. The way I look at a budget, you got a jar of cookies. Okay, everybody thinks it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke. So when you start off with the jar of big cookies there, first of all, you got the police department, fire department, public works department. And they're getting the whole cookies and everything. Then under that, you got the town employees, salaries, whatever, goes on and on and on. So that's half of the jar of cookies. Now, the next quarter of the cookies, you're breaking them in half. You got the tail library, other things, projects, catch basins, storm drains, extension of cemeteries or whatever, money roaming around, what you're doing. We bonded Hood's Pond, but you know, back a few years ago, I was very upset with what happened was with the bike path, but that's old history. Now you break that all down. Now you get the 3/4 of the cookie jar. You're breaking them down in quarters. Now we take care of our seniors, disability seniors in the town of Derry, and the senior citizens, low-income people. Then we take down, right, and we take care of what people we can in the town of Derry. All we're here, last time I was in front of this board was year 2015. And all I'm saying is, all we want, I know that last year we got crumbs out of the cookie jar. Not trying to be rude. That favorite word, tax cap, and I believe in it. But it's about time we get a quarter of the cookie. We got to start somewhere. I look you all in the face. I can tell who's going to vote yes and who's going to vote no automatically. But turn around looking at it. You got to start somewhere. Me and Ernie worked 9 weeks on this. He's calling me up. I'm calling him up. He couldn't get his job done. He's doing his job and everything. Between him taking me to the VA and Dick Tripp taking me to the VA, Jamaica Plains, a different place. I'm not looking for myself. And there's 802 of us are veterans. Me and Ernie one, I'm one too. So there's 800 brothers and sisters out there. They're worse off than we are. And always gotta start, we have to start somewhere. I know it's a bad year, but percentage on the budget there and everything, after everything, the cookie jar, I'd say that's probably 90% of your budget. So what is it, Mr. McCacken, about 8 cents to play with or 10 cents to play with? It's gotta be a quarter or something. And if you look at number 5, I'm not gonna get no deeper, look at number 5, progress of number 5, and it comes over so much, a penny every $49,000. That's the only thing I liked in high school, and I graduated in 1965, Pinkley Academy, was algebra, figures. But we do our own budget home, me and my wife. But like I'm saying is, you just look it over, be fair, because we've been not punished. We're not here begging. Mark my words, us combat veterans that got banged up, we don't beg. But all I'm saying is just be fair, look into it, and just do something. Last year, you did the proper thing, but I heard so many, I'm telling you, when I brought this up to the candidates night down to there, I went there, I asked the same questions, everything. I got 5 telephone calls the next day from veterans. Veterans just don't want to come out because they think they're begging. I mean, I can't make no excuses. But that's all I have to say. Let's be fair. You cannot take other towns like Londonderry, this and that, because they're under different government, right? So I know a little bit about that. In the town of Derry, I mean, going back to 5,000 people, you know, we got loved ones buried up that cemetery, gave a lot for our freedom. And we're just the young people now at 78 years old, you know? So that's all I have to say. Thank you. Maybe I got out of line, but I had to get it off my chest.
If Tony didn't say something out of line, Tony wouldn't be talking, so. We'd like to thank you for allowing us this opportunity to present this to you. This is really important that you guys let us do it this way, not have us get on the public forum, whatever you call it there. That we wanted to make sure we did it the best we could in presenting this and get the good numbers to you, and hopefully, you know, and I understand the budget, believe me, I understand it. I just, I know the budget, I can tell you right now, we both went to the forum that they had over here at the Opera House a while back, and I know, I can tell you one thing, our new counselor, Mr. Webb, definitely knows that there's a tax cap, because he said it 25 times that night. So I gotta tell you that he knows it, so don't worry about it. He knows that he's gotta work under a tax cap. We stand before you representing not only ourselves, and we're not doing this for Tony and Ernie. This isn't just Tony and Ernie. Like Tony said, it's for the other 800 veterans that reside in this town of Derry and currently receive tax credits related to the current RSAs we discussed tonight. And I say that because them are the two that are in effect right now. And I know that there's rumor and there's talk about other RSAs that are gonna be coming down the road having to do with tax credits for veterans. But this is what we're working on right now. I mean, that's another bridge we'll have to cross when we get there. We'd be happy to answer any questions or anything. I don't know how that works with you guys if you have any questions, but I appreciate the time to let us do this.
Thank you for coming in and presenting. Does anybody have any questions right now?
I think they gave a good presentation and the numbers speak for themselves.
Thank you, gentlemen. This was very informative. I appreciate it.
We're always available if you got more questions. I mean, anything we can do to help the veterans. As most of you know, I worked with Jim Morgan on the Derry Veterans Assistance Fund, and we did a lot. Still continue to do it, and to help a veteran that's the important thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation.
your time.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, gentlemen.
All right. Next up is the town administrator's report.
Hey, good evening. Our Chief Financial Officer, Mark Fleischer, will be presenting on the financial results for FY24, the third quarter. Mark?
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Which key on?
The up and down arrow,
Okay.
they're working for you?
Seems to be lagging. Oh. Okay, so we'll start here. March is 75% through the fiscal year. That's going to be our benchmark for this report. Also, we're going to be talking about general fund operations, which do not include taxes, overlay, TIF, capital, and EMT revenues and expenses. So, for FY24, for the general fund operation revenues, we were at 90% of budget. We were at 80% of budget for expenses. Also, a year ago, same period, we were at 90% for revenues, but 85% for expenses. Keep in mind that revenues and expenses can run higher due to contractual obligations booked for the entire year. So some revenue variations for operations. Some of the items that exceed the 75% benchmark as of the third quarter. In fire, we had receipt of contracted ambulance and dispatch services for half of a year, and ambulance revenue is 84.4% of budget. And health, permits 119.3% of budget. In tax, motor vehicle registrations are 78.7% of budget, and the tax collector continues to report recent transactions have included high-end vehicles, increased volume in private sales, and title applications, as well as new vehicle registrations. Values of used vehicles remains high, and year-to-date motor vehicle revenue is $208,000 higher than a year ago. In IT, intergovernmental revenue from cable, water, and wastewater was recorded. And in OMO, interest revenue was 311.1% of budget. Under town clerk, marriage licenses and vital records are greater than 75%, and civil forfeiture revenue is 280.3% of budget. In planning applications are 402.8% of budget, and in building permits are 141.4% of budget. Some of the items that are tracking below the 75% benchmark, we have timber tax revenue at 55.9% of budget. The tax collector boat registrations are 69.5% of budget, but it's expected that increased activity will happen in the fourth quarter. Under police, the annual SRO billing will be processed in the fourth quarter, billing Pinkerton for the school resource officers. Animal control, the dog license fine revenue is 40.2% of budget. In the cemetery, perpetual care and burial / cremation revenue is less than 75% of budget. For recreation, transfers from the Alexander Carr and McGregor Trusts will happen in the fourth quarter. And for parks, the Alexander Carr transfer will happen in the fourth quarter. In highway, inspection fees are 46.3% of budget. And the transfer from the Municipal Transportation Fund will also happen in the fourth quarter. Transfer station, cardboard and aluminum recycling revenue is less than 75% of budget due to continued soft pricing of these commodities. So, on the expense side, again, we're 80% of budget as of now. A year ago, we were at 85% of budget. So some of the expenses that are tracking below the 75% benchmark. In fire, they have vacant positions. They have 6 paramedic and / firefighter positions, along with a fire inspector and assistant chief. In police, vacant positions, we have 2 patrolmen and 1 dispatcher. And in highway, snow removal budget was 44.2% of budget. Some expenses that are exceeding 75%, getting back to fire, overtime is 131.3% of budget. However, that's primarily offset due to vacancies. In IT, the annual software support payments were processed in the first quarter. In OMO, earned time buyouts with roll-ups is a $501,700 over budget. That will be offset by a transfer from the compensated absences capital reserve fund later in the fourth quarter. Human services, we have annual agency payments are encumbered. Elections, the voting machines are encumbered. In highway, the annual roadway maintenance and road salt is encumbered, or in the case of road salt, spent. And in transfer station, we have annual contracted services that are encumbered. Additional information, as of March 31st, 2024, approximately $4.1 million has been paid to contractors for work related to the new fire station. Another $2.6 million is encumbered for ongoing construction, with final contracts yet to be awarded. Also, at March 31st, the total interest allocated since July 2022 on the unspent fire station bond proceeds totaled $1.4 million. Those funds were earning 5.36% at March 31st. Any questions? Comments?
Questions, Councilor Churchill?
Yeah, thank you. Mark, you had mentioned the snow budget was 44%. Seemed like the last 2 years, we've had a pretty mild winter, so we still have that dedicated fund that we put the excess money into.
Yes, we have a capital reserve set aside for winter maintenance.
Do you happen to know what that number is at this point?
It's around $200,000.
Okay, thank you.
I just had one really small question, and knowing that the dog license fines is low, I'm assuming that's because Tina's doing a great job on getting people to license their dogs. Have we made adjustments to that for the next year since we're in such a better
We have.
place? We did, okay, I couldn't remember, check, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to thank Mark and the crew. We had our finance meeting before this meeting, and the numbers are in really good position. We went through each of the line items in some details, so, again, thanks to the staff, bang-up job, everybody getting the revenues in, and if you look at it in detail, you'll notice some things are up, some things are down, but they're all well within line of where they need to be for the end of the fiscal year, which is the end of June.
Okay.
Good across the board. Nice job for the whole
Thank
staff.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple other issues. Fire station construction, we have received all the final subcontracting bids. We're currently working with the architect and our construction administrator on value engineering to align the project with the budget, and staff is meeting with those folks tomorrow. So we'll have some definitive information for the council at your budget public hearing next Tuesday. Mosquito control program started the week of April 8th. This phase includes treating areas where mosquitoes typically breed. Encourage anybody to review the information on the town website. Some residents choose not to participate in the program, so there's instructions how to contact the town and make sure that we follow their wishes. And on the legislative update, we're now tracking two bills. Senate Bill 589, which is the wastewater surcharge. The Senate passed that bill on March 21st, and there was a hearing last Wednesday before Resources, Recreation, and Development. I was out of town, so I want to thank Councilor Chiricello for testifying at that hearing. And next is the Senate Bill 553, which will restrict the town's options to invest its excess cash. That hearing is actually tomorrow afternoon in Concord, so I'll be testifying on behalf of the council on that bill as well. So that's all I have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions before we move on? All righty. Then we are on to new business. We have item 2436, which is resolution 2024-021 to withdraw funds from the Capital Reserve Fund for a compressor at the Derry Public Library, and Library Director Eric Stern will be presenting.
Good evening, councilors. Good to see you again. Sorry that I have to ask for this tonight, but back for more. So seeking approval to fund the replacement of the primary compressor for the Derry Public Library's chiller. The amount, $10,075. We need to get this fixed in order for the chiller to function properly throughout the summer, unfortunately. This would be funded from the capital reserve, which for the library currently has a balance of approximately $175,000. I would take questions from the council if you've got them.
Isn't the library used as a cooling center
It is indeed.
on hot days?
It is indeed.
Any other questions?
If you'd like, I can read the motion.
Sure.
I'd like to read the following motion in the record. I move that the town council adopt resolution 2024-21 as follows. And I apologize, let me just flip to the page. Resolution 2024-021 to withdraw funds from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund for a compressor at the Derry Public Library. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas the compressor at the Derry Public Library has failed and is needed replacement, and whereas a capital reserve fund was established in 2004 for the maintenance of the Derry Public Library, and whereas the Library Board of Trustees has requested authorization to utilize a portion of the fund for this purpose, and now therefore be it resolved in council as agents to expend that the sum of $10,075 shall be appropriated from the Derry Public Library Capital Reserve Fund to finance the replacement of the compressor. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage, should be adopted April 16th, 2024.
Second.
All right, motion by Counsel McEckern, second by Counsel Granessi. On the motion, Counsel Chercello,
Yes.
Counsel Webb,
Yes.
Counsel Foot,
Yes.
Counsel Flood,
Yes.
Counsel Granessi.
Yes.
Counsel McEckern.
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, council.
Coming in.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is item 2429, Resolution 2024-017, to adopt the FY25 town budget. And Administrator Dave Karen.
Good evening. We're here to receive preliminary approval for the capital outlay budget and the expendable trust. There we go, for those two. The council has received information on the purchases which are planned to be completed with these appropriations during different individual budgets. But the council has so far approved preliminary budgets for the entire budget with the exception of these two areas. And as a refresher, come on, there we go. Again, they were presented as part of each department's budget. There's annual service contracts on the capital project for the communication systems. And also, if you recall, for the last 4 years, we'd had an annual appropriation to upgrade our traffic signals. Now that's been completed, we want to transition to a 4-year plan to upgrade sidewalks through the community at a cost of $50,000 a year to be funded through our capital reserve program. We also are looking to purchase a gator in the custody of the fire department, which will be available to all different departments. Both multi-link and video for the command vehicle. Looking to replace that 20-plus-year-old roadside mower. IT is recommending upgrades for the vehicle data terminal for fire apparatus. You tried one?
Yeah, that's the next slide.
Oh, there we go. Look, we had a public hearing by Battalion Chief Laro to receive permission to apply for a grant for battery-powered rescue tools. That's your first recommended appropriation with offsetting from the Assistance of Firefighter Grant. Also, our periodic upgrade and replacement of cardiac monitors and respiratory ventilators that are currently at end of life. And we have a very old tractor at the transfer station, which is in need of replacement as well. On the vehicles highway, a 6-wheel dump sidewalk machine. If you remember from Mike, it's just the front end of the machine. And then a truck with a plow, and we're looking to replace one of our 4 medics in the fire department. Regarding our expendable maintenance trust, look to implement a study and improvements of all the rest of our stations, get us a handle we're looking at on a long-term basis. We'll be doing sprinkler inspections for all our buildings and some associated repairs. And you may recall, you see this every other year, is to invest $25,000 in road rehabilitation of cemeteries. And then we also have various station repairs for the various fire facilities through the community. Derry Public Library, the site renovations and parking, we think is going to be about $150,000. That's a program that's been around for quite a bit, and we hope to implement that in FY25. There's also some improvements to Station 2, a turnaround, some HVAC upgrades, buildings and grounds, generator connections throughout our organization, and a boiler replacement over at Galleons Beach. And then fire is upgrading the copper alerting system to fiber. Okay, other budget matters which will bring some finality to the council at your public hearing next Tuesday. As you may recall, that Mike and Tom talked about a significant upgrade at our treatment plant by rebuilding Lagoons 1 and 2 and also bringing Lagoon 3 online. That was about a $12 to $14 million project. As things are rolling out with the EPA and our pending permit, it made sense for us to pull that project back. And instead for this year is to wait to receive the permit from the EPA, get a better handle what the improvements are, and then begin preliminary engineering. So we'll have some specific numbers for you, but we think that that $12 million appropriation will be reduced to $600,000 to be funded by the wastewater undesignated fund balance, which will allow us to bring back at a future year a more defined cost what the project will be. The other one is on Central Fire Station. I had mentioned that we're going through a value engineering process. And during this process, we want to make sure we're being smart, essentially not saving pennies today for some significant money down the road. So one option is we need a communications link from the East Broadway Tower, which is currently the Central Fire Station, to the new station. That's a project of about $400,000. We can do it fiber for less expensive, but it makes sense from a safety perspective to use a wireless link. Our hope is to be able to fund a majority of that through the contingency fund. However, if that gets exhausted during the project, we have to have a second strategy. So we may be requesting the council approve a set amount of money, similar to what you folks did 3 or 4 years ago when we had a $1.8 million project for communications for police and fire throughout the town. And we'll purchase that through a lease purchase and payments over several years from the fire department capital reserve. And again, both of those issues will be finalized with recommendations to the council by your meeting next Tuesday. So this evening, we're looking for a preliminary vote, as you did on all the other budgets, on 2 items. First is the capital outlay for $1,902,495. And the second is for the expendable maintenance trust budget of $582,500.
Can you give that $1 million number again?
Yeah,
$1,902,000,
495. 1,902,495.
and that's from which?
That's the capital outlay budget. There it is. Thank you, Owen.
Oh, okay, that's on one of the pages then.
First one, right after that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right, thank you. So we just need to do a motion for each of these, correct? Just a preliminary?
Please.
motion. Okay. Motion for,
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, preliminary motion for approval of the general fund capital improvements of $1,902,495.
all right.
Second.
Motion made by Council McEachern, second by Councilor Granessi. On the motion, Councilor Chirichillo,
Yes.
Councilor Webb,
Yes.
Councilor Foot,
Yes.
Councilor Flood,
Yes.
Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes, motion passes.
And for clarity,
7-0.
Madam Clerk, that was for the 2025 budget. I'll make a second motion, same thing for the 2025 budget, a preliminary motion of approval for $582,500 to be from the expendable maintenance trust.
Second.
All right, motion by Council McEachern, second by Councilor Granessi. Excuse me. On the motion, Councilor Chirichillo,
Yes.
Councilor Webb,
Yes.
Councilor Foot,
Yes.
Councilor Flood,
Yes.
Councilor Granessi.
Yes.
Councilor McEachern.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Just a reminder for the public hearing on the town budget is next Tuesday night at 7 PM. And currently, the proposal is increase the budget by about 2.6%, which is about 15 cents. Not 15%, 15 cents on
15
the tax
cents,
rate.
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we flew through that. Are there any councilor comments or liaison reports? All right, I have a couple of things quickly. I just want to let everybody know that downtown Derry Derby Day is coming up soon, on Saturday, May 4th. Looks like an all-day affair. You can go to Downtown Derry Derby Day on Facebook. You have to say that one slow. And there's updates and info there. And I also want to congratulate both Emily Ristine and Sam Fazioli of Derry. They were the top male and female finishers from New Hampshire in the Boston Marathon. These times are impressive, so I'm going to read them. Emily's time was 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 12 seconds, and Sam's was 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 49 seconds. And I was just blown away by that. So congratulations to both of them on an excellent run.
You almost can't drive it that quick.
Right. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Right. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, there we got there eventually. All right, meeting adjourned. Have a good night, everyone.
She hurt her knee.